Fulham deserve something from that game.
Yeah. So relief and frustration in equal amounts, no doubt, for Jurgen Klopp. But how encouraged should Fulham be by that?
Very encouraged, because you're up against one of the best teams in Europe. And the fact that you can compete like they did today, very encouraging. I know it's the first game of the season, but I like their approach. You know, I spoke about before, you know, going long, not really trying to play out against a Liverpool team that like to press. So that sort of intelligence from the manager, and being on the front foot when they've lost the ball, you know, getting bodies in the box where they're going to score, and having a forward that's going to score goals. And, you know, overall performance really good.
Was that what was most impressive, just how effective they were off the ball today?
Yeah, they had to go in expecting they weren't going to be on the ball as much as they were used to last season against a team of this calibre. But I think the game plan they executed was in acceptance of that. And so out of possession, they hustled around, but they didn't just do it like individually were pressing the ball. They did it collectively, did it, you know, the two in midfield, one dropping a bit deep, Pereira coming in off to join in with that press in midfield to congest it. When Fulham were in possession, then he would go and join in with Mitrovic. So I think the movement, you know, off the ball was absolutely fantastic and really well coordinated. You can see what Silva's been working on, you know, in the off-season, and it absolutely pulled it off today.
He said they weren't ready, Marco Silva, before the match. Did it look like that?
Yep, managers are always always saying that, you know, if you want to go in the transfer market, you're never happy with the business they've done. They always want more players. I think obviously the centre backs, you know, having that pair, if one of those gets injured, I know they've brought in Duffy, but they need strength in those areas. But those two midfielders in front of them today, I thought Polino especially. Yeah. I mean, he looks like a real top signing. I think he's going to be important for them this year.
And Mitrovic, you said he was an absolute animal today. Did he make a bit of a statement? Because there's always lots of questions about him when he's playing in the Premier League.
I think whether he liked it or not, he had a point to prove today, because last time they were here, people were pointing the finger and asking questions of him. Today, he's got a long way to answering that. He's got to do it over a consistent, sustained amount of time, we know. But today, doing it against a player who's regarded probably as the best centre-back in the world right now, Van Dijk, he made it difficult for him. They're here, he munches this cross up. Karachi was licking his lips as it came in.
Oh, mate, honestly.
It's like they dream of.
It's perfect, that type of ball as well, especially. But the best thing I can say about Mitrovic today is sometimes Van Dijk and Matip or Konate, they come on, they don't even look like they've played a game. Today, they knew they were in a game, and that was down to him. I thought he was magnificent today.
That little check-in field there just left it. You could see the clash of the knees. There wasn't the feet, but it's the knees. It's a definite penalty, no kind of consideration in that. But just shows he's not just a target man, hang time, strong. He's quick feet as well, and that's unstoppable. Keeper can see, doesn't react, goes that way, but still doesn't have the power to get down and save it. Perfect.
I think what Silva will be pleased with as well, yes, they defended well, yes, they carried out his instructions really well, intensity, etc. But they had a bit of an edge up front as well. They had an out. A lot of teams come up especially, and they're very compact, and they sit and they wait to be... They on the counter-attack, and when they created chances, they hit the post at times, and so that's a good element as well, not just being hard to beat.
Not many players do that to Van Dijk, do they?
No, they don't, and I think that, again, he's somebody... He's one of them players, for me, I'd have found it hard to play against him, I think, because he's robust, he's aggressive, he jumps into you when the ball's not even there sometimes, and he doesn't just... It's not just about flicks and skills for him, it's about having an impact against the other player. He makes the centre-half have to work hard if you can get good ball into him. And today I thought they'd done that. And that's the important part. We questioned before the game, can they get good ball into him? Today they did. He threw Jordan Henderson off there like an old coach.
Yeah, but then it was beauty. It was obviously beast, and then beauty. It was a lovely Cruyff, and it was good hold-up play. I thought he was fantastic today, and obviously I think with him he's not going to run away from people. He's not going to run past too many people.
But is he much more of an all-round centre forward?
Yeah, he is. But what I'm saying is you need pace around him. You need players around him supporting him. Otherwise, if you can't just leave him isolated on his own. And today, they did get round him, and he was the focal point.
Is that because this team play completely to his strengths? Under Marco Silva.
You set up and you know that he's your main guy. He's the one who's going to get goals for you. So you've got to play to his strengths, and that is holding it up. It's playing off and having runners. And I think Anthony Robinson was excellent about supporting from a full-back role as and when. Cabano down the right-hand side, he put the ball in for the goal. They had numbers flooding forwards to attack. That last little bit of footage there was in the extra time of 90 minutes, and Mitrovic was still holding the ball really well for his team and just buying his team a few more minutes.
I don't think we can get carried away, but I think it's a big difference today, and you'd like to think it would carry on now, given what we've seen today, is that last time they were up, I don't feel they played completely to his strengths, whereas this first evidence that we're getting here today seems like Pereira even. He's new in the door. Every
Did we
time he
get
got
a
the ball,
taste of what he can bring today then?
yeah,
Pereira?
but Pereira, every time he got the ball, he's looking for Mitrovic. Every time they get wide, they're crossing the ball. 14 crosses in the first half. And I think Wilson's missing. He was a big provider of chances for, I think, 10 goals he created last season for Mitrovic. And I think they're going to need that again. Make him the focal point. I mean, Crouchy, as a centre forward, if you're the person that they're always looking for, that must give you huge confidence.
That's what you want. I mean, I just want to be hit from all angles, you know, like obviously diagonals into chest. You can, you know, set up from there and obviously crosses into the box. Like you say, 14 crosses, that's what he thrives off. And certainly last time they're up here, they didn't play to his strengths. He got dropped quite a lot. And I think that's played, you know, people have looked at him and said, oh, can he do it in the Premier League? But I don't think he was given the opportunity to do it. I think this season he will be the main man, and I think we'll see the rewards of that.
We've got 26 more days of the transfer window. Do you think after that performance, especially, Marco Silva is definitely going to get a bit more money to spend?
I don't know, it could work two ways, couldn't it? The sort of backroom staff sort of say, look at that performance against Liverpool, against that calibre of teams, and you can do it, but you got to have depth. So it's a long old season, take everything into account. Yeah, of course, he's gonna want to buy to strengthen his squad. Simple as that. I mean, Mitrovic, if he goes, what have you got in reserve?
I think Marco Silva is an astute man. He was disappointed. You could see that in his tone before the game. Obviously, that'll be changing right now, but I think that gives him even more to go with to the owners and say, listen, reinforce what I've started with. We do need more. We need that depth. We need more quality.
Especially after that second goal they conceded as well, when he's crying out for centre-backs.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously that's the area that's just jumping out at people. But I think it's true what you say. If Mitrovic goes down, they're going to be in a lot of bother. I mean, a lot of teams, if the main striker goes down, but you need something in and around that. But there was a lot to be positive about today for Fulham, and this place is going to be important as well. Keep this atmosphere going.
Wolves and Brentford coming up for them as well. Still in your bottom three?
No, it'd be interesting to see how they play in those games, you know, because they've got, certainly at home, you'd think they'd have a little bit more possession, you know, will they change the side a little bit, you know, will there be a more attacking? So that'll be the test, because those games are going to be key for them.
Bit more belief they can stick around now, Rachel?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I do a lot to consolidate that sense of belief and togetherness and that team dynamic. But absolutely right. When they're not going to dominate, or when they are going to have more possession on the ball, it'd be interesting to see actually how Marco Silva sets up. Does he play with those, you know, overlapping full-backs? Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that, and maybe out of my bottom three for now.
For now. Doesn't take you long to change your mind. Let's get some reaction then. Marco Silva is with Des Kelly.
Thanks very much. Marco, congratulations. The game plan worked wonderfully for you. A lot of energy, very aggressive. You showed you wouldn't be intimidated as well.
No. Why should be? Of course, we have to respect the top quality they have. As I said before the match to you, they showed last season, 2 seasons ago, and they started showing again last week when they won the trophy. That is the main thing for me. We respect them, but of course we have to do our job. We have to trust on ourselves, to stick with the plan as well. We showed fantastic organisation from the start until the end of the match. The plan was clear for our players, and they did it really well. We did a great first half. Our first half was almost perfect. The way we control, the way we block, the quality they have, because even if some moments they don't decide in a collective way, they can decide in an individual way, because they have this type of players that can decide, and they do really well. Second half, because we start to come a little bit more tired, it's part of the game, the intensity they can play, but we match them every time. They had great chance from Keban. If you could score the second goal, will be probably the game completely different, but I really enjoy. Even the moment we conceded the goal, after we went again, we scored the 2-1, we start to lead again the score. I have to congratulate our players, our fans as well. Fantastic atmosphere in our stadium. We like that. We have to play all together, as our fans as well, and to match our opponents.
And of course, there was a lot of talk about Mitrovic, whether he'd score in the Premier League this time as he had in the Championship. Well, we saw he did that today. He was in great form.
For me, it's not important. You know that I'm always answer to you in the same way. It's not important for me to talk. I know the quality Mitro has. I'm here to take the best from my players, and we are doing from the last season with all of them. Of course, Mitro has his own profile as a football player. We have to keep believing for him to take the best from him as well. But Mitro is not just goals. Forget, if someone thinks that Mitro is just goals, forget. The job he did this afternoon for the team, his pressure, helping the midfielders, helping the back line, and after, if you deliver for him, you'll score. I have to congratulate really him. Of course, I have to congratulate from Marek until Mitro, but I have to congratulate him because the work without the ball he did this afternoon was fantastic. And he knows that I demand this from him, and he did really well. I'm really pleased because he scored 2 goals and he deserved it.
Well, it's a long road, and you made a great start. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Marco Silva obviously delighted there, saying they matched Liverpool today. Lots to build on, Rio.
Yeah, and I think that's the one element. We all know what it's like. You go into games and you're playing against the bigger teams, and the teams you know have got more quality, they've got more experience, they're used to winning. The first thing you have to do is match them physically. Can you go in there and win the battle individually, but also as a team? And today I thought that they were more than a match for Liverpool, and they asked Liverpool, can you go at this pace for minute 1 to the 90th minute? And we were saying in here, wasn't we? Can they do this again? The first half, brilliant, energy-wise. Can they match the next 45 with it? And they did.
They didn't get all 3 points, though. Darwin Núñez involved in both of Liverpool's goals today. What did you make of his impact off the bench?
Yeah, good impact. Can't do any more. Obviously, he's been involved in both goals. I thought he led the line well. I think there's lots more to come for him. I think it's a tremendous signing, but he was a thorn constantly when he came on. I thought Harvey Elliott as well. I think he's going to have a real good season this year. I think they've talked about creativity in Liverpool's midfield. I think he's the man to bring it this year. I really do. I think he's going to be...
Bit of help off Adebayo there.
How important is that run across the front there?
Yeah,
he surprises the defender, doesn't he?
It's all about the timing, isn't it? It's about he's got to delay it. He can't go in there too early and be waiting. He seems to time his runs to perfection.
Defenders got this one wrong, didn't they? Tosin came across, didn't call off Ream jumps for it and flicks it into the path of Núñez, but couldn't have been an easier gift really for Liverpool at that point, and they've been sublime, the centre halves, until that point for Fulham.
Sorry, man. I was just say, being a forward as well, like all 3 of them today, like Mitrovic, Salah, Núñez, all got off to a flying start. It's so important opening day.
OK, well, Núñez off the mark in the Premier League. We can hear from his boss now. Jurgen Klopp is with Des.
Jurgen, you've rescued a point there today, but what did you make of the performance overall?
Yeah, best news about the game is the result, actually, that we get a point for a really bad game of my side. And so now it's a question, how can that happen? I said already to the colleagues, the attitude was not right in the beginning. Then we wanted to fight back, but then you don't find it easy anymore. The pitch was dry, stuff like this. We played really in their cards most of the time. Always when we found a bit of direction, and we ended up in front of their goal and had probably, even when we were 1-0 down, the bigger chances. Crossbar, all these kind of things. But again, result is fine. I don't think we deserve more than that. But the performance, is massively improvable.
Was there a very straightforward discussion at half-time, should we say?
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, you cannot always hug the boys. We do that usually when they deserve it in the first half. It's not that they did much. It's just you start the game in a specific way, which was opposite to how we wanted to start. Really, completely opposite. Didn't find direction, passed the ball around against their 4-4-2 in defending. When everybody was under pressure, we couldn't really break the lines. What was a clear message before the game, what we have to do. That's why you have to take the risk. We lost the balls then in these moments. So it means each challenge they won is a very positive thing for them. Each chance they have, or whatever, shot on target, on a direction goal, massive. If we miss a chance here, it's a negative thing. We didn't gain the feeling. Okay, now we know how it works, so let's do it again. So it was we never had the momentum, and we could have won the game because we had then the bigger chances, obviously, but that would have been probably a bit too much today.
Their first goal, Palhinha and Henderson clashed, and that went on to the first goal. Is that something
I don't know. Was it a foul or not?
Well, it looked like it was an accidental contact, shall we say, maybe. I think it certainly wasn't. There wasn't enough to see if it was a deliberate foul, shall I put it that way, I think.
Fouls don't have to be deliberate. It's not about that. I think they don't go back that far. I think that's more the thing. Fouls happen constantly. I don't know what he thought it was a harsh foul or whatever. So if it's contact in a situation where a player balls, you whistle it. He didn't. Again, this result was not about the ref or whatever, but we discussed the situation in the Premier League meeting. That the refs don't want to go that far back. I'm not sure how far it was. I don't have no real memory for that. But if it's a foul, would have been nice if it. But again, he saw it differently.
Yes, the VAR didn't get involved because they said it was subjective, but also it was too far away. So Klopp spot on there. Can you see, though, why he wasn't in a hugging mood, Peter?
Yeah, certainly. You know, it was below par for Liverpool standards. They were far below that, weren't they? Certainly first half, and I thought it was a really good, honest interview from Jurgen Klopp. He didn't come out and defend that. He just said it wasn't good enough, and I think that was there for us all to see. If you don't match the sort of the energy, the determination of the home team, certainly on the opening day. And I think sort of going forward, they couldn't get through the lines, as he mentioned. I thought he summed it up perfectly.